when a group of teenagers break into a deserted house and accidentally awaken the wrath of a long-dead witch. The movie begins by showing 3 teenagers talking about an abandoned house in their neighborhood. The house has been unoccupied for years, left empty and neglected for so long. It's a large and spacious house with many rooms inside. According to local stories, the owner of the house lives elsewhere and deliberately let the house fall into decay. Because it has been abandoned for years, the place has become haunted. Out of curiosity, one of the 3 teenagers, named Charlie, decides to visit the house alone. He wants to prove to his friends that he's brave. As proof that he actually went there, Charlie tries to remove the house number. But just as he's about to do it, the front door suddenly opens by itself, and moments later, a cloud of black smoke emerges and pulls Charlie inside. Since that moment, Charlie disappears without a trace. A year after the incident, we are introduced to a girl named Lana. Lana is a teenager who lives near the old abandoned house. It's Halloween night, and Lana, along with her friends Rachel's boyfriend Shane, Taylor's boyfriend Brody, Dax, and Lloyd, plans to test their courage by entering the haunted house. Even though they know the house is said to be cursed, they are determined to explore it and prove whether the rumors are true. But before the others arrive, Brody and Lloyd secretly go to the house first. They plan to set up a scary prank. Lloyd stays behind to prepare the setup, while Brody goes back to pick up the rest of the group.
I'll go in with you. No. My comebacks, thank you very much.
That night, Brody picks up Lana, Shane, Rachel, Dax, and Taylor, and they all head to the abandoned house together.
There was this old house in the neighborhood where I grew up.
Once they arrive, they immediately go inside.
Everyone stay there.
Oh, look at that.
The interior is extremely dark, making it difficult for them to see anything. Fortunately, Dax finds the right light switch, and the room suddenly brightens. However, instead of exploring, Brody and Taylor, as well as Shane and Rachel, start getting intimate and make love inside the house. While Brody and Taylor are making love, they notice a thick black liquid seeping nearby. Meanwhile, Rachel and Shane, who are also making love in another room, are disturbed by an unseen presence.
Can't believe you're letting this house freak you out.
Frightened, both couples decide to regroup with Lana and Dax. At that time, Dax and Lana are exploring the surroundings, examining old items around them, until Dax finds a family photo with disturbingly distorted faces, causing him to drop it in shock. Dax tells everyone that he just saw a creepy family photo, but when Lana looks at it, the photo seems completely normal. They assume Dax must be hallucinating or drunk. While Lana continues to look through the pile of photos, she accidentally finds one that looks exactly like her. Suddenly, she sees a terrifying figure sitting on a chair, making her scream in horror. At first, Lana tells her friends that she saw a terrifying figure, which makes her feel too uncomfortable to stay in the house any longer. Because of that, Lana decides to leave. However, to everyone's surprise, the front door won't open at all. At first, the others think Lana is just joking, but when they try to open the door themselves, they realize she's telling the truth. The door really won't budge. They try to stay positive, assuming it might just be a prank set up by their friend Lloyd, since he's been missing for quite a while. Believing that Lloyd might be behind all this, Shane asks Brody to call him and tell him to stop the joke. But Brody's phone has no signal, and soon they realize that none of their phones are getting any signal at all. They start splitting up to find another way out, checking the back door, windows, and other exits, but everything is sealed tight. Every window in the house is boarded shut. Not wanting to stay trapped, Dax tries to force the front door open, but as he slams into it, he injures his shoulder badly. The situation gets worse when Taylor, who is standing near a mirror, suddenly screams as her index finger is severed after touching it. Horrified, the group finally starts to believe the stories about the house being haunted. Seeing Taylor in pain, Shane, Dax, and Brody desperately try again to break the door, but nothing works. Suddenly, they see a group of teenagers outside wearing Halloween costumes. They scream for help as loud as they can, but no matter how much they yell, the people outside can't hear them, as if something inside the house is blocking their voices from escaping. Moments later, they hear Lloyd screaming somewhere inside the house. They quickly decide to split into two groups. Brody and Dax stay downstairs to look after Taylor, while Shane, Rachel, and Lana go upstairs to search for Lloyd. Brody and Dax take Taylor to the kitchen, where they find all sorts of strange objects and even animal organs scattered around. Dax then notices pus appearing on his face from an unknown source. As they continue exploring, Brody is shocked to find a human hand inside a pot, which makes him nauseous and vomit. While wandering into another room filled with dolls, Brody suddenly sees Rachel crying. Trying to comfort her, he hugs her, but unexpectedly, Rachel begins to seduce him and kisses him. Surprised, Brody kisses her back, but then something horrifying happens. Rachel bites him hard, tearing his flesh apart. It turns out that wasn't Rachel at all, but the ghost of a witch disguised as her. Before she can kill him, Brody manages to escape, badly wounded. He later reunites with Dax and Taylor, but his injuries are too severe, and he dies from massive blood loss. After that, Taylor notices one of the doors suddenly opening by itself. She runs toward it and manages to get outside, but just as Dax tries to follow, the door slams shut again. A dark shadow appears and attacks Dax violently. Outside the house, Taylor desperately tries to flee, but she's confronted by a woman in white, the witch's spirit haunting the house. Despite escaping the cursed house, Taylor meets a tragic fate as the ghost drags her into the water and drowns her to death. Meanwhile, in another part of the house, Shane, Rachel, and Lana discover a room filled with old books, many of which seem even older than the house itself. Most of the books are about dark magic and witchcraft. Lana then finds a death certificate belonging to Annabelle Foster. According to local stories, Annabelle was believed to be a witch, and because of that, the townspeople sentenced her to death by drowning her in a pit near the house. Annabelle Foster was, in fact, the original owner of the mansion. As they continue exploring, Shane and Lana suddenly realize Rachel is missing. Rachel has wandered into another room filled with various black magic artifacts. They soon realize that the ghostly woman haunting the house is none other than Annabelle Foster, the witch and former owner of the mansion. Suddenly, thick black smoke fills the room, making it difficult for them to breathe, forcing them to flee.
You guys, this can't be real.
While discussing what to do next on the staircase, they hear Lloyd screaming from the basement. The three of them rush downstairs as fast as they can. When they arrive, they are horrified to find Lloyd locked inside a cage, severely injured, with his hands and feet bound so tightly that he can barely move. Seeing Lloyd's condition, Shane desperately tries to free him, but then the basement door slams shut violently. Realizing how dangerous the situation is, Shane tells Lana and Rachel to escape while he stays behind. Luckily, Lana and Rachel manage to find a hidden passage that leads to another room, but they don't realize that the witch's spirit is watching their every move. Rachel, who's crawling ahead, comes face to face with the ghost. Without hesitation, the witch begins ripping out all of Rachel's fingernails, leaving her helpless and screaming in agony. During the chaos, Lana gets struck by Rachel's flailing legs and instantly loses consciousness. When Lana wakes up, she finds herself alone in a pitch-black room. She turns on her phone's flashlight and starts searching for Rachel. Eventually, Lana stumbles into another room where she experiences a terrifying encounter with the witch's ghost. Meanwhile, Shane is still struggling to free Lloyd from the cage when he's startled by the sudden appearance of Dax, alive, but looking much worse than before. Shane and Dax work together to lift the cage so Lloyd can crawl out, but the witch interferes, causing the heavy cage to fall and crush Lloyd's head as he tries to escape, killing him instantly. With Lloyd dead, Shane urges Dax to leave the house. Eventually, Shane and Dax find Lana, who has been tormented by the witch. Shane asks where Rachel is, but Lana has no idea. When she woke up, Rachel was already gone. Knowing they can't stay any longer, Shane, Lana, and Dax start looking for a way out. They soon hear noises coming from another room and find Rachel there, but she has aged rapidly, her life force completely drained by the witch. Moments later, Rachel dies from the unnatural aging. As the witch's ghost approaches them, the three of them run as fast as they can to escape. During their escape, Dax decides to sacrifice himself so that Shane and Lana can get out alive. His body is already deteriorating, and he knows he won't survive much longer. Dax heads to the basement, intending to burn the house down to stop the witch from claiming more victims. But the witch stops him before he can act. Using her dark powers, she easily overpowers Dax and kills him brutally, extinguishing his final act of heroism. Meanwhile, Shane and Lana are still desperately searching for a way out. Shane tries breaking one of the boarded-up windows while anger and grief consume him after witnessing Dax's sacrifice. Fueled by rage, Shane begins shouting, challenging the witch's ghost to face him directly and fight. The witch appears before him, accepting his challenge. Before the confrontation begins, Shane tells Lana to escape through the window he managed to break open. Moments after Lana climbs out, the witch overpowers Shane with ease and kills him mercilessly.
Shane!
He's gotta go!
Outside, Lana manages to get away from the cursed house and sees flashing police lights approaching. It turns out that Shane's father, Carl, had brought the police there after growing worried when his son didn't return home. Carl had asked for their help to search for Shane, and after some time, they discovered Shane's car parked near the old mansion. The police suspect that Shane and his friends are still inside. Lana, the only one left alive, desperately screams for help, trying to get the officers' attention. But the witch's spirit intervenes, dragging Lana underwater and drowning her. Lana screams as loud as she can, but the police arrive too late and she dies in the water. Hours pass as the police continue their search for Shane and his friends. Eventually, one of the officers discovers a body, it's Lana's, found submerged in the murky water. They immediately perform first aid, hoping she's still alive. Miraculously, Lana begins to breathe again and they rush her to a police car. But moments later, one of the officers looks back toward the water pit and sees another female body floating there. When they pull it out, they're shocked. It's the real Lana, her heart brutally ripped out of her chest. The officers are stunned. If the real Lana is dead, then who or what was the one they rescued earlier? It's then revealed that the body they saved was actually the resurrected witch, Annabelle Foster. Annabelle had preserved her spirit through dark magic, keeping her soul alive to protect her decaying body. When she first saw Lana, Annabelle realized Lana's body was a perfect vessel for her soul. She replaced her own damaged heart with Lana's, successfully reviving herself after being trapped in the cursed house for so long. In the final scene, Annabelle, now alive once again, brutally kills one of the police officers. After rising from the dead, she walks away from the house, her eyes cold and empty, suggesting she will continue practicing dark magic, and that her terrifying power has only just begun. The story ends.